Welcome to the Explainer. You know, in today's world, your company's most valuable asset, it isn't locked away in some vault, it's out there, in the cloud. So today, we're going to talk about how to build a fortress, a digital one, to protect all that data. And our blueprint for this is the gold standard, ISO 27001.
All right, so here's what we've got on tap. We're going to start by sizing up the battlefield, understanding the threats your data is up against. Then we'll look at the master blueprint for your fortress. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, the actual building blocks of your defense. We'll also talk about why a fortress is never really done. And to wrap it all up, we'll connect it back to what really matters, why building this thing is one of the smartest business moves you can possibly make. Ready? Let's jump in.
Okay, first things first, let's really set the stage here, because the stakes are high. It doesn't matter if you're a giant global corporation or a tiny startup just getting off the ground, you have something incredibly valuable that needs protecting.
So just think about it for a second. What do you think that is? Is it, I don't know, the office building? The inventory in the warehouse? I mean, sure, that stuff's valuable, but nope, that's not your biggest asset.
It's your information. Yeah, we're talking about your customer lists, your secret sauce, all that financial data, and your brand's reputation. It is literally the digital lifeblood of your entire organization. It's the very thing that makes you, well, you.
And this priceless asset? It's under constant siege. Seriously, the threats can pop up from anywhere. A flood, an employee accidentally clicking the wrong link, or a full-blown cyber attack. And let's be clear, this is not just some IT problem you can fix by buying a better firewall. No, this is a fundamental risk to your entire business.
So, how in the world do you defend against all these relentless threats? Well, you don't just react when things go wrong. You build a system. You need a solid blueprint. And that, my friends, is exactly where ISO 27001 comes into the picture.
Now, ISO 27001 isn't some dusty old rule book you stick on a shelf. It's a recipe, a framework for what's called an Information Security Management System, or ISMS for short. The best way to think about it, it's like the central nervous system for your whole data fortress, making sure all your defenses are connected and working together. Smartly.
Okay, so let's get down to the core principles of this whole fortress idea. Everything, and I mean everything, is built on three pillars: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. You'll hear people call it the CIA triad. It sounds fancy, but it's really simple. It's about keeping secret, making sure your data is accurate and hasn't been messed with, and of course, making sure you can actually get to your information when you need it.
Right, a blueprint is great, but it's just a piece of paper if you don't have any building materials. So let's dig into the toolkit that ISO 7001 gives you. It's this really comprehensive set of security controls, and they're all neatly sorted into 4 key areas. And you can think of these controls like the actual stuff you build with: the bricks, the mortar, the guards at the gate, and all the high-tech alarm systems for your data fortress. Every single one plays a totally crucial role in your overall defense.
First up, we've got organizational controls. Think of these as the high-level strategy, the rules of the road, the laws of your land. This is where you define stuff like your main security policies and figure out how to work securely with all your suppliers and partners.
Next up are the people controls, and this one is huge. Because, let's be honest, no matter how strong your walls are, it's the people inside who can either be your best defense or accidentally open the front gates. So this is all about training, awareness, and building a culture where everyone is security-minded.
Then we've got to talk about the physical world. Yeah, the actual locks on your doors, the security cameras, even something as simple as a paper shredder. These are your physical controls, and trust me, they are every bit as important as all the fancy digital stuff.
And finally, we get to the high-tech arsenal, the technological controls. This is probably what most people think of when they hear cybersecurity. Things like malware protection, encryption, network security, and making sure your developers are writing secure code from the get-go.
Okay, but here's the thing. Building all these defenses, that's really only half the battle. A fortress can't just be built and then forgotten about. It has to be actively managed, constantly maintained, and always improved over time. And the key takeaway here, maybe the most important one, is that security is a journey, not a destination. ISO 27001 is built around this idea called the Plan, Do, Check, Act cycle. It's simple, really. You plan your strategy, you do the work, you check to see how it's going, and then you act on what you've learned to get even better. It's a constant, virtuous cycle of improvement.
And this is where ISO 27001 gets really, really interesting. It takes responsibility for security and puts it squarely in the boardroom. See, it's not just an IT issue anymore, it's a leadership issue. To get this right, you absolutely need commitment and resources from the very top of the organization.
So after all of that, you might be wondering, what's the real payoff here, right? Why go through all the trouble of building this whole system when you could just, I don't know, buy some new security software?
Well, because it's about a fundamental shift in your mindset. You stop just chasing compliance and ticking boxes on a checklist. Instead, you start building a truly resilient, intelligent system that actually adapts to your unique risks. It's the difference between slapping a bandage on a problem and building a genuinely healthy, robust security posture for the long haul.
And the payoff? It's huge, and it's strategic. Adopting this standard isn't just about stopping breaches. It's about building trust and confidence with your customers and your partners. It's about protecting your business from massive financial hits and reputational damage. It helps you keep regulators happy, and ultimately, it weaves security into the very fabric of your company culture.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. When it comes to protecting your absolute most valuable asset, what kind of builder are you going to be? Are you going to be someone who just patches holes in the wall as they appear? Or are you going to build a real fortress, one that's designed to stand strong and withstand whatever comes its way?